Welcome to the Theory Expo. We're gonna get right to it. We're gonna talk about this scroll invasion, the finale, episode 6, titled Home. Again, I know the last couple episodes we did like a recap and kind of just went through it, but like now that the finale didn't happen and the way the finale was, right? We just gonna really kind of incorporate and talking about the show as a whole, right? The show as a whole, the season as a whole, as opposed to like with this episode. It really wasn't that complex of an episode, in my opinion. Like we got to break down the different darts. And hey, I wonder what the average runtime of this season was, because for a 6-episode run, it was really 34, 32.
Yeah, they never went over 40 minutes, 45. Like it never got the 50-minute, 55-minute episode like we usually do, where it's at least one episode that's 55 minutes. They kept this under 36 minutes. Yeah, it was like they kept it under 40 minutes for every episode. And you gotta count, count in the credits and all that too. So
exactly. Minutes. Yeah, and the funny thing was that the thing I praised it for leading up until the last episode and kind of saying like, well, look, they can't really undo what they did in all the other episodes. It's been like cut point right to it, whatever. Like it's really been like I said, cut out, like they trimmed a lot of the fat, right? End up being kind of like really a detriment, in my opinion, to this final episode. And then now when I recap the season, it's like, yeah, no, that wasn't trimming the fat wasn't the thing to do, because like where we ultimately got, what ultimately got. I even point out one thing about the season as a whole is that what started as a political thriller or espionage, what I was pretty like, oh, that's right in my wheelhouse. It was never really that. It was just a terrorist plot, right? By a radical group.
That's true, yeah.
It was just a terrorist. That's what the show was about, like stopping this plot. And it really wasn't really a complex or deep way we were going to do it. It was like, okay, they're going to do this. We got to stop this. We stopped it. And then let's kind of do the Marvel thing recently where we had these threads that happened. It may make you want to talk, but it's probably a little tired at this point right now, right? In terms of again, without being too negative, it's just like it's not at this point, it's not the thing where you walk out and you like, but what does that mean? And what does that mean? And that ongoing conversation that seemed like it was leading to somewhere now is just like, nah, I think these just loose ends that they didn't. These aren't on purpose, right? These are just sloppy things they're putting together at the end of, that didn't really tie up. And then maybe some marching orders on top of because there's a couple of things in there that will seem like marching orders that totally didn't make sense. Right. It totally didn't make sense. And, I guess you can see how I feel about the season by that initial, because I didn't feel that way. That's a weird thing, right? I'm asking my first question because that's a weird thing. And I want to lead that into the question that I really didn't feel this way Wednesday morning going into the episode. Yeah. But it was like once I got to piece it back together, it was like, okay, yeah, now not only did I come out like feeling defeated, if I came out feeling example, I'm gonna ask you this question. I don't know how you feel. Like one of the first things that kind of came to me was like, we theorized when and how Rhodey became a Skrull. We got the win. We could probably still assume the how, but we got the win. And my question to you was, how do you feel about Rhodey and the Skrull Rhodey timeline now that it's been confirmed? And before you answer, like it totally changed for me once they confirmed it. Because we laughed about it. Was that Rhodey that said it's Thanos? You just tie him up, and all the kind of lines that was happening, and the back and forth he had with Nebula. It was like, wow, that really wasn't Rhodey. And that it being confirmed, make sure we on the same type of time that it was. No,
I got a question.
Always back out the Civil War.
I'm glad you clarified that. Wait a minute, so because I was so defeated by the episode. So wait a minute, you saying confirmed. What timeline was it confirmed for?
When you actually said it in the last episode, when Vision hit him.
Yeah, sorry.
He had to go to the hospital. He was in his hospital gown. He couldn't walk.
Yeah.
He couldn't.
Yeah,
walk.
And they actually, you're right. I lost track. I'm sorry.
Tony Stank, the dude that said Tony Stank, that was Skrull Rhodey.
And I meant to say that line too. I meant to bring that up. Like Tony, that do sound like it could have been a Skrull that said Tony Stank. Wow. So the dude, okay, all right. So we confirm. All right, so yeah, we are on the same page. Because I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Is it before you talk? What we talking about? Okay, no, we were yeah. So they did confirm that. Man, I feel like yeah, you're right, man. You're right. It did change. It did change for me.
It changed it for
me.
I did about
feel
it last
better.
episode.
I felt weird. Like it felt like it was like, nah, really? Because now I feel like you kind of robbed me. Like I feel robbed because this is what it came to is you get shot in the head. I need you to be a major villain for you to have that much success as a villain, for you to pull off infiltration of the Avengers, and for you to play a part in the Battle of New York, for you to be that deep. Pause. Like you can't just die from a gunshot wound to the head from Nick Fury. Like that's
being
just
slow at it as well. Like
that's what bothered me about it. Is that's the part where I was outside of you robbed me of those moments, but you don't even play a major part going forward.
You were just a bit player.
You were
like in the end, like you was a yes. You ended up being just a kind of a yes man.
Like
to
you ain't the queen,
and then yeah. You should have been that.
You should have been the queen.
Should have been the Queen Scroll doing that.
Like the one that was Mockingbird in a yeah.
Exactly. You're right. I didn't even go to there. It was like this person did this scroll did this, and that was the payoff.
Way greater than anything Graphic did.
It was
like I just
this person was talking to Ross. Yeah. This person was talking to Ross, talking to Cap. This person was probably clapping. I didn't want to clap at Carol, but he probably was getting old from Carol, right? This person was like still being an Avenger, right? Still being an Avenger while everybody was blipped.
Man, the man was the last. The man rubbed Tony Stark on the face, man. Oh, the Scroll did. Didn't he touch his face?
Yeah, 100%.
Did he touch the fam? You robbed Rhodey of that? Like that wasn't who was Rhodey? That was one of Rhodey's biggest moments as a character. You would even argue that was his defining moment as an Avenger. Is fighting in that battle.
Yeah.
Basically holding the Avengers down.
Remember, he was like, eject. That's some bullshit. My bad, man. My bad.
Nah.
But he said eject. He could get out. Whatever. She could get out of that. Her legs wasn't broke no more. You played it that tough? Remember when she got blew up?
He didn't.
Right. When they blew up the compound.
Yeah.
And the motherfucker was like, eject. And then he's trying to help Rocky get up with the stick, and he had to push it down. Right.
You played it that tough? Like he looking around. Oh yeah. Eject. Yeah. Remember, I can't walk, so I got help me out here. Like
I got a slime.
Yeah, he reminded people in the middle. Yeah. Like, hey, eject.
He played me. Come on, man. Y'all, that's some bullshit.
That's some bullshit, man. I would have rather y'all not did that. I would have rather not they done that, man. It's some bullshit.
That's some bullshit, man. We can watch Endgame right now. Wait, I'm gonna watch Endgame. I'm gonna point out that's some bullshit. He should have smacked up Nebula. He was even though he said that line, we were like, oh, I wasn't always like this. But nah, you still should have some hate for her. You had any, right?
Yeah.
You was flying around with Sam, like, watch out, Sam. Let me show you how to clip their wings. Right. This is Infinity War,
Yeah.
Doing all that.
When he say but the problem with that is now we think we know who Rhodey is, but we kind of don't. It's like when he land to say, "What's up, regular size man?" I'm just thinking that's just her being on her bullshit. Like I don't know who.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was absolutely her being
Rhodey upset.
That's her.
That's her, bro. Like, what's up, regular size man? Like
you're right, man. Because Rhodey up until that point was straight up and down. He got 12 congressional awards, 12. And you just talking to Sam like you just talking about.
Oh, it's okay. Just
okay. It's nothing. This is not the such council. This is when he was talking to Cap. But the same run by the same people with agendas, right? That's Rhodey coming out. Rhodey, like Scroll Rhodey, like Tony Stank was the first line said. Yeah, because this one had humor. Previous Rhodey didn't have humor. Like Boom looking for this was like him, just like I ain't got nothing to say. Like I'm talking to y'all, and then he needed
right.
it.
He was funny in an ironic way, right?
Yeah. But he was straight up and down. But once he got the Tony Stank table for one, Tony Stank table for two, or whatever, and then all the little lines, right?
Can I tell you why it's some bullshit? And I'm gonna tell you why I think we both. I'm gonna tell you why it's some bullshit. You know why it's some bullshit? Because is this the truth? Hey man, we like Skull Roadie. We like
Skull Roadie way more.
we like Skull Roadie way more than we like real Roadie. We just do. Like we like that nigga. We like her, man. Like
I like Scroll.
We like Scroll Roadie, man. We like him a lot.
Way more than the original one.
Way more.
You know how much fun we used to make a real Roadie?
Oh man, I'm keeping the suit. What do you say? I'm keeping the suit. Yeah. Hey, my car got destroyed, so I'm keeping the suit.
Yeah.
No, you're not. No. Don't take the suit. No, don't do that. No, Tony. Hey man, Tony was cool as hell with Scroll Roadie, man. Hey man, we like Scroll Roadie, man. We like him a lot. Like,
Scroll Roadie, man.
We got an attachment to Scroll Roadie, and that's what I mean about if he had lived on, man, and we could have got to some sort of like, if we could have got a better resolution than what we got. Like if he had been carried off in cuffs, and then in the future we can have maybe an Armor Wars or whatever future show. At this point, it's like just stop making shows. But anyway, and we could have got a conversation where the two roadies sit down and talk to each other, and have her explain her firsthand account of watching his best friend die, saving the world. That's all lost in time now.
Yeah, because this guy don't know that happened. This guy don't know that happened.
He don't know that happened, and he's never gonna know that happened unless they throw some bullshit out there like, oh no, they was when they linked. He know what happened. No, they not gonna do that.
He get
so
the memories.
We got his. We basically just watched Roadie die with nothing, with no acknowledgement of past events in history. Like Roadie's dead. The Roadie that we saw reaching out for Sam, looking for Sam. Sam done got snapped. He gone. He don't even this Roadie don't even know Sam is gone or Sam was gone. He don't even know Tony. Fam, he don't even know Tony gone.
He don't know Tony gone.
He don't know Tony gone. I guess that adds to Armor Wars, but man, thank God Armor Wars is a movie, man. Thank God. But you're right, man. I don't feel I did. You're right. We talked about this. We was early.
Yeah.
We was early, but it's like I didn't know I didn't want to be right as much as I am. As I do, And I think that's the reason, man. I think we like Roadie, bro. I think everybody like Roadie. That version of Roadie. We like him more than the original Roadie. And he just gone with a gunshot wound to the head.
Because you're right. All that happened, all that will it be the catalog, the whatever you want to call that, that got to get told to this person.
Yeah.
Everything that happened, this is the person got to learn that, and probably wasn't capable of doing that.
Probably not.
The Brody that got snipped, that got clipped by Vision, probably couldn't have been.
Remember,
the person that would have jumped in that time machine, right? Might not have been that person that did that.
Exactly.
Might not have did this. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. What you say?
No. I'm with you. No, I was letting you. No, I'm just adding what you were saying. You're right. Remember, this dude was landing at the end of Ultron. Like he had just really signed up. Like, all right, I think I'm gonna be an Avenger. Yeah, and we seen him in Civil War. He got clipped, and that's it for that Roadie. Like, just oh man, that's just a weird way to go out.
Weird. It's weird, like for that to be. We know it's going to be someone. He's like, it's going to be someone that was involved. And once Roadie was in the show, he's like, well, Roadie's the Skrull. Like, we don't have to guess. We know it's gonna be Roadie, right? But then when you put it that way, I kind of wish it was someone else, right? Like I don't know who else it could have been, but it'd been like close, but not like if it's not original six, no, right? No. But if it was Hawkeye,
even Maria Hill, bro. Like if it was just been her, like okay,
and then you
at least
also because if it was something like that, like I don't, and I'm saying Hawkeye,
shouldn't have been touched.
Like no Hawkeye, but Hawkeye was I wouldn't even want Hawkeye and Endgame though had been a scroll.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
No, like Maria was already like something like that. You know, that would it did. Like I say, we talked about it. We was early, but then once it was confirmed, it was like, yeah, I don't feel the same way as I thought I did, or I did when we were talking about it. Right? We talked about it. Hell yeah, that had to been the time because he went to the hospital. That would have been because there was only 2 points, right? Him going to the hospital at that point, or at the end game when it was cleaning up, maybe they got Rhodey, whatever, and some, like kind of did the swap at that time. But it was like the hospital. I remember you saying that the hospital was like the most likely opportunity to get him. Now it does beg the question, why at that time?
Yeah,
Like they don't seem like that was part of their plan at that time.
Yeah. Right. But that's where we went wrong with this show. One of the beginning factors of what went wrong with this show is that we didn't get the right show. We didn't get to see the right things that would have made the better show. The show that we should have got was the one where they snatching people and where they get Rhodey and why and even if it's flashbacks, just showing us why they doing what they're doing, and instead of we got the second half of it where it was just Fury and we mad at Fury and this is why, no, we needed the more interesting show I think would have been, we got to snatch these people up and we got to infiltrate the government and governments around the world, and this is how we did it. That's the secret invasion we should have got. Instead, we got, like you said, they just terrorists. We got to stop this terrorist cell in Russia. They don't even really go nowhere. Fury going to Finland is like the only time them going to Finland is like the only time we really like globetrot. Most of this was Russia.
You're right. Yeah, we didn't even go anywhere. Like, we wasn't even in the States.
We didn't focus on any other real scrolls, that's just, that's rough, man. Like him having that connection that they went through some stuff, man. Like he played that part deep, and I get it that, all right, now this is the last plan, this is the last phase of it, but bro, you ain't stopped to have any type of, I guess, where to be like levity or like, nothing gave you pause to where you was like, man, maybe this planet is, bro, you saved the planet. You don't think the planet is worth saving? You already did it. Like, just like you ain't stopped to think like, all right, well, obviously Graphic was just flew off the rails. You didn't stop to think like, hey man, maybe
we didn't get whose plan was what, right? Because that contradicts, right? Why would you be okay? Why would you want anarchy? Because that's what it was. Like within this anarchy, we can rise to the top. Why would you want anarchy? But you was just saving the universe. Now it was Earth, but y'all saved the universe.
You brought back half the universe.
Y'all went back in time. Like you could have like foiled the plot right there. All you had to do was not get one stone. All you had to do was not, because you can't snap. You could have foiled the plot there. So in between that, what and becoming a scroll, we can get, like you say, that we didn't get the right show, we didn't get the right reasons why, and not a correct timeline or like an adequate timeline on why, how, when, right? I think we got some wins, but we didn't just get the correct timeline to what make that make sense, and then the reasons, right? Because if this was always the plan, when Thanos was doing what he was doing, there you go, that's it. And you had two, like you said, he already knocked it off, right? And then he was about to knock it off again. Y'all had to break time to do that again. So yeah, you're right. It was like it within that. It wasn't satisfying, right? It wasn't satisfying in what they presented to us. And then it was actually kind of like, well, damn. It was like, well, damn, I think you're right. I think you kind of articulated better. It was like, that ended up being a character that we liked. And we liked that version of him, right? Like, we liked that version of him because of what he did post getting swapped. He was a big part of why everybody got blipped back.
And we've seen this in TV shows before, right? Like where I can't think of one off the top of my head, but we've seen this before where it's a character that turns heel. You're like, damn, man, that was my guy. Like, yeah, He turned to the other side, like, damn. Even if they die, it's like you still can take time and be like, and then you find out the reasons and say it again. Agent Shields, they had a main character.
I think it was Ward. But you knew it, but when it was him, like all the shit y'all did, but like exactly, like he was taking people out, but then it was him. It was like, damn, y'all was a family, like, dog, for real. Just using Marvel as an example and some of the stuff they put out. I'm sure there's better examples, but it was like damn, kind of liked you, like you was, but it happened. It was just with this one. Yeah, it was just, like I said, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna continue going on, but you make a point that we're gonna follow up about the show. Was like ultimately it all ended with just him grabbing Sonya, but wasn't really ready to do something. So Fury had time to raise his hand and take him out, you know. So it was like a whatever death or whatever. It was unfulfilling or whatever you want to call it. But that's kind of like, do you? Like one of my questions was, what was the point of Maria Hill's death, right? Or what we got? Yeah. But it didn't. You take it down the line, like between Maria Hill, Talos, Skrull Rhodey, was like their deaths was just like whatever. It wasn't really, didn't have any gravity in the show, did it? Or am I making, or am I taking that too far?
Yeah, it's just a shock. Just shock. You're right. Just shock value, man. Just something to make people talk about and look forward to the next episode. And, oh man, is he gonna get up? It's like, yeah, right. There's nothing. There's no gravity. Can he go to her mom and be like, that was why? That's why she died. I mean, she know why he died, but she know why she died. What happened? He explains it to her, but still. But yeah,
like in terms of the impact of the show, when you like, it didn't fuel anything in Fury. It didn't do nothing for Fury, right? I know we got a line by what's her name, baby girl, like her mom's died off screen, right? And then Talos just kind of got gunned. He got shanked at the end of an episode. And then it was like, I know Gaia said a couple things, and maybe they just, at that point, it just didn't resonate with me. But she says, they had the funeral, but that was, pardon me, like Fury wasn't even there for the funeral. That was his man's, but it didn't like even the repercussions of the decision he made to like let his man just lay in the street when it potentially could have saved him versus the president, the kind of things that he was doing. There was really no like, I don't want to say consequence, but like whatever the correct word is, that like it just didn't impact it. It didn't impact anybody's decisions, even though I know Gaia said like, you killed my moms, you killed my father, but it was like that really didn't impact any of the decisions that you made.
No, she was gonna be in that room no matter what, right?
No matter what.
Even if her dad was alive or dead, like she was always gonna end in the same. It's always gonna end the same way. Like,
yeah,
right, man. It didn't spur Fury to do anything. Once he got in that
Indiana Jones thing, yeah. What's the Indiana Jones thing where like whether they was gonna still open up it didn't. That's how these deaths were in the show. It was like it didn't matter. They were gonna do it. It didn't impact. It wasn't even like a topic of discussion really afterwards. Usually that's not what the case is, right? But it wasn't. I was wondering if I just saw it like that. Was like, well, damn. I know they keep showing the video of Maria Hill. It didn't really matter, and that's making my point. I have a theory. I don't think, especially with these latest, probably these MCU shows and probably more shows like that, but I really think it's about that with MCU. I think these people are filming scenes, but they don't really have context of what the scene is about until they see it.
Wow.
Right? Wow. I don't think, like, I don't think in some of the conversations, what's name was even saying, the Kobe Smulders. I don't really think she thought she was done like that. Like, I'm really dead.
Yeah. So y'all calling me back? Are you calling me back next week for the? No, you're done. You're good.
I think she filmed the scene, and because supposedly they had a lot of like reshoots and all that kind of stuff. I bet she filmed way more than that. Like I bet she was in the season. Like I highly doubt. Yeah. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just you're right. No, go ahead.
Because what made me first think about that was that fight that Gaia and Gravik was having. I guarantee you they didn't know they was doing that. They was on some strings, they was flying around. There's no way. No, we was watching the Mandalorian behind the scenes and when the scene in, they all go look at the screen and they look at like they look at it like, you know what, let me try that again. I might say this, I might say that. Like they kind of like collab with the director. I guarantee you they didn't know that they was filming that whatever that was. They didn't. They just was flying around like, okay, you're gonna use this, you're gonna use that. But I'm thinking like some of this other stuff was happening. Like more stuff was either in play, and then they just walk away. They see it when you. They see it when you, and it probably worked before. That's how they can keep everything kind of when they used to be like, we need to keep it tight-lipped, but it's just not working now.
Hey,
and I think that's probably the case on some of that stuff. Probably most of that stuff. They don't know.
I think you gotta. I think man. I think your theory is definitely sound, man. Because just as an example, what's her name? Haley Steinfeld, the chick who's the voice of Spider Gwen.
Atwell. I'm not about my Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah. Or no, Stansfield. Yeah, Stansfield.
Yeah, something like that.
Stansfield. She was saying she didn't know. Yeah, she didn't know Spider. She thought that was one movie. Like she didn't know it was a part two. She just did all her. Yeah, she just did all her lines and was like, "All right, well, it was nice." It's the end of the.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's a part two.
Like
that was just like I don't know if she was saying like I don't know if she was saying that she did her lines and they just didn't use the other half. Like she did the eventual part 3 already, but she didn't know it was getting broken up into 2 parts. Don't you think that would play? Like I would think that would play a part on how like, oh, okay, wait a minute. So that's the part where y'all gonna split the movie. So I'm gonna make this sound extra ominous and I'm gonna be really sad. I'm saying goodbye here. Just to like piggyback off what you're saying. Yeah, like I think you're right. Is they do a lot of these scenes and they don't really. Yeah, they just filming stuff. They don't know it's the. Oh no, this actually the last. Oh, this the last scene that's gonna be on for the season. Okay, yeah, they would act different. Yeah, you're right, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he was right, man. Kobe didn't know. She's like, wait a minute, I'm not coming back. Like
that's it.
Like, and I'm sure they showed her a storyboard or some concept art or something where she do come back and she's like, so when do I film this? And they was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. We're already 230 million into the budget. We're not gonna.
Man, they was saying like she was shocked. She was shocked at the end of the app, like when they talked to her, like, she was doing all the red carpet stuff. I don't think she knew like that was it.
Because you pointed out something last week. Every episode says guest starring Kobe Smothers, right?
Yeah, they just
like, I don't know if it was this one did, but I know like all of them was.
I think this one did. No, this one didn't. This one didn't. This one had the Everett Ross one. Because that was my next. I don't know how much that mattered, but it was like, well, then how long was he was a scroll, right? But this one said guest starring whatever his real name is. I can't remember his real name. I know it, but I can't remember right now.
Watch and look for clues about what he's wearing. I really don't remember what he had on because scroll wrote you can see right away, like, oh, that's the Civil War gown. But you're right, man. When the hell was Ross? Come on, like Ross got some movies. I mean, was that you on Black Panther, dog? Like
the one we recognize. Like the Black Panther we recognize.
I think it was. Yeah, it just seemed like the one that was in the first episode was just like newly, he seemed like he was new. He was newly minted Ross. He was a fresh batch, you know what I mean? Just so, but yeah, man, I think you got something, man, because they don't be knowing, bro. When they be in the interviews, they be like, I came in, I shot for 2 days, and then I went home. And it's like, yeah, she probably was thinking like, oh no, I'm getting up from this. Been here before.
Because I did this. I did this. Like we you know what I'm saying? We did the A, we did the B, and we did the C. Like they rolled me back in just like we rolled him in Winter Soldier. Like, you know me, I thought it was gonna be like poetry, but it was far from it. Not that I needed her to be, because they never really made her like other Maria Hills. So it wasn't like Maria, you did it. But it just, I don't think she thought, maybe, that was just gas, but like, I don't think she thought, and it made me think. And then when I was watching that whatever, because it was even parts like example. So now I'm taking a shot. Go ahead. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that battle, right? Let's talk about that battle. So like again, we was early again. Not that the other early is a little bit better than this early, but it's like, it ain't gonna be. It's gonna have to be Gaia that fights Gravik.
Yeah.
Right, because she did the Super Scroll thing, and she be the only one non-Avenger that can fight him. Right, there's no one else that they call an Avenger. Right, nobody else can see him. Like it's not even. You have to go get somebody. Nobody can't shoot him. You whoop. So she was gonna be the one. So ultimately, when we start seeing kind of the clips and everything, I was like, that's not Nick Fury that done walked in there. This guy, right? This guy is Fury. Like that's just in my mind. And not to say that was like, I can't believe they did that. I'm just saying, like, yeah, it has to be Guy because it can't be Nick, which is going to another point that I got. But okay, we get to the situation, and they do the fusion. Like, it still boggles my mind about this harvest thing. And that's a whole other thing. Like, so we just got a vial with everybody's DNA. Like Nick Fury wouldn't do that. Yes. Like, I don't want to be gatekeeper. Right. We can get to the gatekeeper aspect of it, but it's just like kind of like Nick Fury not getting one vial with everybody's DNA in there. Right. Like he gonna have, like, if he was doing that, he would have one at a bunch of his grave
every
sites.
country. Yeah, exactly.
He would have it. He would ever. What's Nick Fury like? You don't let everybody know the secrets. If everybody can't know the secrets. What the shit he said in Winter Soldier that had Cat mad, but like he got compartmentalizes because he don't want everybody to know the secrets. There's no way he would have did that, but he did it for this show. He did it, so I can't cry about that. Don't make sense.
Plot convenience. He did it, man.
Yeah, you know. And was willing. This the same guy. See, now I'm gatekeeping. This is the same guy that had a sale for Hulk. That Loki was like, oh, somebody much stronger than me, right? You're like that shit in the helicarrier. So if they needed to put Hulk in that, they didn't trust Hulk.
But they put Loki in, yeah. They
didn't trust Hulk, but he was willing, like, you know, even if it was the whatever that plan was, to have Gaia go do it, and they were going to both get it. That was the plan. Like, you know what? This is the only way we can stop this. It's for us both. We also got robbed of him and like Fury and Gravik of actually having that face off. We never got that.
They never had a conversation.
We never.
Fury still don't know exactly why he was mad.
We don't got
this
that.
whole he grabbed his face. He didn't get that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, man, y'all embarrassing. This is embarrassing for Samuel Jackson, man. Like, what is?
Yeah. He was all that. Yeah, he was doing all that. Yeah. But we didn't get this moment between them, a face off, right? A proper face off. He used old girl, and then they both become Skrulls, right? I mean, they became like Avenger Skrulls, right? And they got this weird. Now I was defeated at this point. It was just like, okay, man, let's just get through. Yeah, there's some bullshit, right? Like it was some bullshit.
She did like an arm.
They was doing some. It boggles my mind. It boggles my mind a little bit, a lot of it, that they thought that was okay, right? Some Drax arm, and the one dude that even, I guess, I think shout out to EA Voss. He was really salty about the Hulk leg with the shorts. Like, even when he did the Hulk leg, he had the shorts and everything, man.
Like, changed to the shorts and then changed back to pants.
Yeah, he was doing that. He but oh, man. I noticed this. So in case somebody want to come at me, but I noticed this. I didn't understand when she started phasing. I'm like, well, who the hell got phasing ability? She took Ghost. Ghost wasn't there in the battle.
Ghost wasn't there. How does she?
Ghost wasn't there. So
yeah, I remember. I saw that. I'm like, how does she phase? I get Mantis and all that, but I'm like, how does she phase? Wait a minute, Fury. So every run-in that any Avenger has, bro, you have Scott Lang's. You following behind Scott Lang, my boy. Like, and then you getting his. You following behind Scott Lang. You taking the DNA from. Come on, man.
And yeah, it was things I'm sure it's more, but that one stood out to me, right? I'm sure it's more. If I get to summon up the strength to watch that again, there's like, I'm sure there's more that was happening, but it was, Drax was like that. But when she started phasing, I was like, who the hell power is that was at that battle of Earth? And you can't just do that, man. Like, you cannot do that. Like was that so that we can be like there because they doing the well, not the Dark Avengers, the other shit that they doing with Bucky and all them. What's that? Not Brave New World, but
Thunderbolts. Yeah, I was about to say
Thunderbolts. Is that just for the Thunderbolts? Is gonna be like that bullshit where you want to have some threads, and now you want to. I mean, it's not bullshit when it's popping, but it's some bullshit now with these threads because they don't mean nothing. But it was like, yeah, it was just so that started happening, and it was just like, okay, cool. He beat her because of the brawn and this, that, and the third. But that, like I say, when that stuff that was saying that she used, like she got Mantis, and they both was doing some Carol stuff, and it was just like, wow, I can't believe they doing this. Um, 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 but it was just like I say, I had to get at that when I saw that when I saw the ghost thing happen. I'm sure there's more, but when I seen that, I was just like, yo, we way out of pocket right now from a standpoint because this person wasn't even there, unless I'm missing something. But this person wasn't there.
No, you
So,
absolutely right.
like
I'm
they
trying
was
to
doing
find the
Ebony
article,
Mall
man.
stuff, and it was like wow, y'all was like, who synthesized that? Like, what do we like? What do we? And they dusted. So, like, I guess they was how you just know they leaked, like they ducked. But you know, and again, that's getting into the weeds. But it was just like it was seeing that, and it was just like, nah, man, that's something y'all missed in telling us that it's been since the beginning of time. Like y'all had her from, you know she was already working for Shield, right? Because they told us that in the movie. So maybe it came from there, but so they already had blood samples and everything, and then they could put. But come on, you didn't tell us that. You told us from the Battle of Earth when the Dark was it the Black Order when they showed up and blew up the Avengers Mansion or a compound, and it just added on to that battle that they was having. That they were just this 2-person. It was a weird way to do it because I know I was worried about them saying, "Hey, don't have it that Fury show up and they do better." And we was laughing about that, like you're better than this, and he was gonna kind of like talk him out of a certain way or something like that.
Nah, there was no rebuttal, nothing. She had one, but it was
they had their thing, but they didn't have it where it was like for a show. I think I just said it about the rationale between Gaia and why she would have like these deaths didn't happen. Fury kind of didn't matter in the show. Like I sent you a question. We see Fury in the Marvels trailer looking like Fury, but after this finale, is he really Fury? And was he ever Fury in the show? I know they had this epic thing when he put the thing patch over his eye and he put the leather on, but like he never really. Like he was even sloppy in the hospital. Like all this talking they was doing back and forth. Like look at him. He's the Skrull president. And then no, it's him, and it's him. Why? So why they having this like?
That's in my notes too.
Goulash battle, like whatever they were.
I had written down here. MCU characters don't act like they've been in the MCU, or basically, I've said MCU characters don't act like MCU characters.
That's a great
none of these characters really acted the way that they normally act. They were way out of character. But just to pull something up, just to confirm, kind of not confirm, but just to add credence to what you said about Kobe probably didn't know. The damn president didn't know. The guy who played the president didn't even know how the show ended, and he was in the last episode. Let me share this real quick. Right here. Secret Invasion star doesn't know how MCU series end. Now, why the hell wouldn't you know how to? You were filming the scene where they kill Skrull Rhodey. He didn't even know that was the end of the show. It's like, bro, he has no idea.
At the end, it was like it's in one of my notes. Like he had that speech where, I'm saying epic, terrible. But like in terms of like the show, like he basically waging war on all people not from Earth, right? And he didn't know that was the end of the show. Because it probably wasn't. It probably was the beginning of the show.
Probably, exactly.
They probably had a different. What happened at the end with them taking out when they finding out different people and them taking out scrolls and this, that, and the third that was happening. That probably was the show. And then it was going to be about we already know they invaded. So now we got to deal with we're gonna have like radical groups or whatever. I put in there it was let me know if we need to delete this from saying this. I was like. They I said they basically Lee Harvey Oswald him like with Rudy. If you see the old footage of the guy who shot JFK, and then you got that live footage of when the press when Lee Harvey Oswald was getting walked to jail, Ruby just come up and shoot him. Like that's the kind of stuff that was happening in the show. Like, well, maybe that was the show. And they decided to change it. That might have been the beginning of the show.
Yeah, the show did go through some reshoots, didn't it? I'm pretty sure it did.
A lot of reshoots. Yeah, they did a lot of reshoots.
And another thing that I've been looking for the art. I've been looking for some type of proof of it. But I remember seeing somewhere, I can't find an article, where the director wasn't really, like, he wasn't aware. Like, the same thing in WandaVision. Like, the director wasn't like, he had no idea what Secret Invasion really was about, like the original one. The source material, the comic book. He didn't even know, like,
he was told. Yeah, I heard the thing.
He has no idea what it's about.
Yeah, they said don't do no They was like, I saw something where they was talking about, they told them not to do any.
Yeah, they did.
Don't read none of that.
Yeah, that's wow, man. That's just like wow. But not that really would have saved this show, because I'm sure that it came down to like, hey man, we can't get Chris, we can't get we can't get you Thor, you can't use the Avengers anyway. So I mean, it wasn't like that was gonna save him, but like, damn, man, like he has no idea what the source material is. So it's like that has to play a part, man. It has to have a negative impact on the show.
And if you talented, you got talent, you can work. You find a way to work around that.
You find
we can work with. This was a kind of like framework, right? And then this is what we got. And then somebody presents that. You don't green the shit before you do it, right? Somebody like, okay, this is okay, cool. You got this. This is the budget. You know, sometimes the budget's bigger than the other, more than the more. But it's like we got A, B, C, and D. Well, we got Samuel L. Jackson, right? You can work wonders with him.
Amelia Clark got some,
yeah, like we can really exactly. So like we got a something. So what are we doing this around? And yeah,
but back to that battle real quick, because this is one thing. It's also about the battle. Yet again, we end a show with this aerial display, this battle in the sky.
And we didn't think we was gonna get that. We did
not. We did it with Vision. They found a way. This is what I mean. This is also on my notes.
We didn't think we was gonna get that.
This is also one of those. They found a way. They did everything in their power to make me hate the show. I like the show. I said it in like the third episode. I like this show. It's not. I never said it was perfect, because it wasn't. It never was perfect. But damn, they did everything in their power to make sure that you would dislike the show. For me, that's how I feel like. So ending it that way, finding a way by throwing in this ridiculous harvest just so that they can have this aerial battle like they did in almost every other show. Like I'm sure, like you can technically count Falcon Soldier. He was fighting he had wings. He was in the sky. You had the Vision battle. Oh, not the Vision when Vision versus Vision when they fought each other. That was in the sky. And then Wanda fought Agatha in the sky. The sky.
Was brutal, wasn't it?
What's the other one? Like Loki didn't do that. Moon Knight, same thing. This horrible CG battle. Just like, man, it's crazy. Like, it boggles the mind to think y'all had all these problems with CG, but y'all keep using it. This was the one show where you could have got away with that. You had every excuse in the book. Oh yeah, we're not gonna do a big CG battle at the end because these, it's scrolls. But adding this, you had the super scroll. You had a plot. You had a reason that they were super scrolls. But you throw in the harvest on top of that just to make sure that sprinkle some MCU dust on it, some typical, just Disney-fied, or let's do our typical thing. And it's like, you ain't even really have to do that. You could have saved. Yeah, you would have been better off having way more of a practical ending with just him and Fury going at it and just having a conversation at the end. Like, you would have just been better off doing that rather than give us this terrible CG, terrible CGI. And it's just, I was like, why are y'all in the sky right now? Like, and my question to you would be, what the hell do they do with Gaia now, man? What do they do with Gaia? Is this yet another, like, bro, she's the most dangerous being on Earth ever. Worse than Wanda. Worse than Thanos. She's the worst. She had Thanos.
She got Thanos. She got them all.
She got some Titan in her. Some Super Titan. Oh man,
she got them all.
It would have been. You could.
She just walking on the street and getting pulled up on.
Man, how do Kevin Feige not come in and say, "All right, that's cool that y'all did this super scroll, but just make sure we need an extremist scene, like how we gave Pepper surgery at the end, or say like, oh yeah, it's temporary." Because we didn't get the whole batch. It's just temporary. You can just temporarily have these powers. You got to throw that in there. Like, that caveat has to be in there for like you said, not the gatekeep. Well, no, we gatekeeping now.
For the gatekeepers
to be like, Hey man, you can't be the post. You can't have everybody's powers. Everybody that's ever been in the MCU, even people that wasn't at the battle, even people that wasn't even. You didn't even confine it to the battle. You gave her ghost power. You gave her. So we gotta assume that she has everybody's DNA.
Yes.
Like you gotta throw in the caveat. Oh yeah, it's just temporary. It's just gonna last for a few months and then it's gonna wear off. You didn't even do that. You couldn't even throw that post credit scene in there to just say, oh yeah, like show her losing the powers. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, because if she don't lose the power, they both gotta die. And
they both gotta die.
They both gotta die.
Where have them go into the atmosphere and explode. Yeah. Where she's just taking out, she's just avenging her father and her mom. Okay,
they both gotta die.
Yeah, so that we don't have this. We don't have this
around, bro. On Earth.
That's what I'm right. And my thing is, I just know that they're gonna ignore this. This gonna be like the celestial out in the Indian Ocean. I mean, it happened, but did it happen? Like, it's just out there. Like, they're never gonna acknowledge her. She's just out there. This whole thing about where Sonya comes in at the end. Let's work together. I'll use you, you use me. That's never going nowhere,
bro.
We not gonna hear about this.
They taking out.
But I guess that'd be my question: is do you think they even acknowledge this past this?
No, I think I that's exactly. You took my thoughts right and put it in your notes. I said exactly. I said it's going to be exactly like the team in the Indian Ocean. It's going to be just like that. What's those things called again? The from Eternals. The Celestial in the Indian Ocean. It's going to be that. It didn't matter. It's going to be Moon Knight. It's going to be.
It didn't happen.
It's going to be all that, man. It might even be Shang-Chi at this point in time. Like, it didn't happen. It didn't.
You got a movie coming out called Marvels, but you got another Carol Danvers.
How does this?
And then he brought up
one of my lines.
There's peace talks between the Kree making peace.
That's my note.
What they gonna take?
That's my line. The Kree were mentioned, but do you think the Kree Skrulls will even matter in this multiverse saga going forward?
Hell no.
That was a throwaway line. That's actually a big. We was early, and I know people are gonna start saying it. And I think people are about, bro. You cannot just have this Skrull situation in a 6-episode show, and you just go. Like, you got to commit to a Skrull storyline.
This got to be the beginning, not the beginning, middle, and end.
You got to commit to a Skrull storyline and go. It's not the multiverse saga. This is the Skrull saga. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the Kree open the peace talks. What? And then Fury. Again, let's go back to characters not acting the way this. Like you said, was this Fury really? Hey, Fury. How about you lead with that, my guy? How about you come out immediately and tell Vera at least, hey, Kree up there. Even if you just got the confirmation as the show was ending, you got to lead with that. Fury would lead with that. Like, listen, all this is tell somebody, look, Kree, they want to make peace with the Skrulls. There's a chance we can find them another planet somewhere. But
that's a weird
way to the end.
That's a weird note to just get at the end. Oh, by the way, he checking that the two-way that Danvers gave him, like, oh shit. Okay, hey, the Kree ready to talk, because Daryl Danvers is the person that can go out there and negotiate.
Yeah, she can get around.
Like, she's like what Pat may say, aggressive negotiations. That's what she do. She not coming through with the, hey, so you, me, you, hey, us, we all agree. Let's shake hands on it. We move forward. Like, that's not Danvers, right? So that's a weird one to get at the end of the show. It's a weird one to get. So again, is there a lot of this on the editing room floor, right? That happened.
Yeah.
I don't even think that though. I think let's talk about some of my concerns. Right?
Yeah.
Because I do got one more thing I want. It's a lot of things I want.
Yeah, we already 55 minutes in. Damn.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we want to talk about. But
yeah, let's get to it.
Some of my concerns, and it's an MCU concern, right? It's a I was going to add one more note that's added into my MCU concern. In typical fashion, they start getting some flack, right? So they got a lot of flack about this, especially the season finale. Because I think a lot of people, it wasn't popular, but I think a lot of people was like, okay, it's cool. Until the finale, right? So the finale is like the worst rated finale in all the shows, right?
Yeah, it's like 10%.
Which is all the
Rotten
shows.
Tomatoes.
She-Hulk is She-Hulk part of that, right? Right? Like She-Hulk was terrible, and
it might be worse. It might be
but
worse.
it's worse. But no, bro,
I can't believe I'm saying that, but it might be worse.
It
is worse. It's worse.
She-Hulk
no, it's worse. You're right.
She-Hulk finale did what it wanted to do.
Exactly.
That's what they wanted to do. That wasn't a reshoot. That's what they wanted to do. This is not what they wanted to do. This is just what came out in the ed, and they had to turn something in. I say all that to say, in typical MCU fashion, that they did it around Ant-Man and then something they put out. All of a sudden, yesterday or today, we got the poster for Loki. Loki premiere October the 6th, right? You know, they got to deflect. It's a typical, if they have that, it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. So they came out with that today. My concern is now we didn't had this roster of shows. Whatever Loki is, right? But we didn't had this roster of shows, we didn't had this roster of material, right? And it all got the same kind of like thing, that the people involved don't know anything about the thing that they're involved with. Right. Could be cost savings, could be whatever it is that what they're doing. That my concern is, right, because I don't like, I'm already at I'm at this point where I'm not really interested now. Like, I love this stuff, but I'm not interested. Right. And my concern is that on this path that they're on right now, it's not going to change. Meaning, like, all these things that they want to do for the secret wars and all this and all that is going to be from a detached group of people making it. I don't know if they had in-house before, but they need to get some in-house now. But it's one of my, like, all the stuff that's coming out, like, no, I don't care. Like, whoever doing Echo don't know anything about Echo. And I'm not saying that's a show that I wanted to see. But I guarantee you, the person who made it, Echo wasn't their go-to when they was.
They don't know where Echo came from. They don't know where she at right now.
None of that.
They don't know. I guarantee that.
None of that.
People just doing
Daredevil. People just doing Daredevil. No, they don't even. They can't even use the Netflix show as resource, let alone the character of Daredevil. Right? Like, if they want to go to the comics, and I don't think that's changing, bro. So I don't know where they got lucky before, right? Like, so I think we can take the Kevin Feige out of, because Kevin Feige, he was a producer and he's been reliant on the people that was doing the thing. You can see it in that Jon Favreau, because he's doing what a producer do, just knowing who to hire.
I'm giving him all the blame.
So when everybody was like, when it was all that trusting Feige, trusting this, man, Feige was just along for the ride, bro.
Yeah.
He was just along for the ride, and it was the way he was popping. Like, I sent you that clip the other day, like, man, that line, those lines that Thanos said, sitting right there, like those. Like, this studio made that. And then I just looked and I saw Amelia Clark with a Drax arm, and you thought, where do we think that was cool?
Hey,
y'all made Iron Man. What did I point out?
Now, I was gonna say, you also pointed out the week before, or you pointed out this out before. Not only was Feige there for that, Feige was there for Daredevil too, though. The one with Ben Affleck.
Yeah, he was there for that.
You know what I mean? He done seen the good, bad. No, my bad. But go ahead, finish your point.
No. I'm just what they're doing. I don't think, like, people call it magic. People call it this. People call it that. I don't think it's none of that. I don't think. Yeah, they could make a great movie. They could make this or make that, right? But even if they reboot, because I always said they had to do a reboot, it don't matter. It don't matter if it's Fantastic Four. It don't matter if it's X-Men. They don't have what's in place to do that. To do this at no point in the near future. They don't have it. It's not. We're gonna continue to get this. I can't believe last week I said, man, look, man. I was like, man, let's just show Tridash in an unimaginable way. Like, this episode, I don't change. It's just gonna be about the story. And it was like, wow, they really. This was like 28-3. It was like Atlanta 28.
Yeah, that's it. They found a way, man.
Yeah,
they found a way, bro. And they found, like, you're right. That's a great analogy. It's like, you up 28-3 in the championship, in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Second half. All the stuff y'all went through in the season.
Yeah.
But y'all somehow made it through the play, won the wild card game. You done limped your way into the Super Bowl. And once that happens, once a team has to do that, and then they lose where they were up, then that compounds your season and how you got there. and it just turns it into you lost in the worst imaginable way. Like,
yeah,
now I'm firing the coach.
yeah.
I'm firing you now because you were so, like, the way you called the game was so bad.
Yeah.
You can't. I can't keep you.
Man, they
That's how I
fired
felt with
Shanahan.
this.
He was the OC. Like Shanahan
Yeah.
had to go.
Yeah.
He had to go find another job as OC. Shanahan. They talking about he the coldest offensive mind in the league. Like, dude, all you had to do was punt. You could have kneeled the remainder of the game, and the time would have ran out. That's how, like, you had to go out your way. You got to do everything wrong to lose a game like that. And like,
that's what they
to have basically an okay show, but for recently what MCU been doing, a decent show, for it to turn into that you had to like you said, you had to go out of your way to make that bad of an episode to wash away everything that was for the 5 episodes before.
Yeah, you're right, man. Because we both talked about, like, we've covered all these shows for the most part except for Miss Marvel and She-Hulk.
Everything but Miss Marvel. Yeah, we stopped. We bowed out of She-Hulk. We gracefully bowed out.
We can agree that almost all of these shows have had disappointing endings.
Yes,
but disappointing and disaster are two different things. Like, you're right. You're right. She-Hulk was a terrible ending, but it's one that they all agreed on and they made. This is the worst ending out of all the shows so far. I got this is the worst ending since they've been doing the Disney Plus shows. This is the worst ending for any of the shows, in my opinion.
I'm agreeing with you right now. I got a Hawkeye in my mind. I got to remember how the Hawkeye one ended, but I think this was worse. That ending
be worse.
I think every other ending, even then as bad as it would have, whatever it was, mid to high to bad, it was part of that show. This ending was such a departure. It was such a departure for what the season had been about. Like, that CGI battle didn't fit. Beyond it being just not good, like it didn't. But gatekeep wise makes sense, right? It didn't it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense as an MCU fan, and it just didn't make sense for the show. Like what they were telling, it was disastrous, man.
And then to follow that up with this asinine TV or an announcement by the president, like that was just so bad. Like that just. You can kind of see the CGI. To me, like for me, the CGI battle was this. It was. I could have, if you would have cut it off there, and you could have somehow like tied a nice little bow on it with just tying up some loose ends, and just maybe have him at the grave of Maria Hill and putting like a memento or something on her gravestone or something.
The real harvest or something.
Sweet like little touches sweet little touches like that. Can at least acknowledge, like you said, the gatekeepers, the fans, us, to say like, hey, look, we just acknowledging that this happened. This for y'all. This part is for y'all. That can help a show like finale like this. But to me, it was when the president gets on there and says, "We're gonna find you and we're gonna kill you."
Yeah,
bro, that should have been the show. If you're gonna do something that dumb, like, and it's almost like they did that again. Just go back to the reshoots and the actors not knowing what the hell, why they're doing things. I just felt like you did that for Thunderbolts. He even mentions, man, that's really one-term president type. That's something, what do you say? That's really a one-term president thing to do. It's like, so all that was because the reason I'm mad, I'm not mad, but the reason I'm going on about that is because you're not going to do anything. You're not going to commit to that.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem with all these shows is that you don't commit to anything attached to these shows other than WandaVision, which happens to be the best show so far, and Loki.
It's amazing. It's amazing that the people that made WandaVision are the same people that made this.
When you say that, but is it, or is it just? Yeah, I guess like when production wise, yeah. Right.
Yeah, WandaVision
it is.
Look, man.
It's not the same writers, but yeah. I get what you're saying.
The ending. No. I'm saying the studio. My bad. Let me see.
No, I'm with you.
The studio that's okaying the final product. Like they walk in and was getting awards and everything with WandaVision, right? I mean, it was a time and place. Blah blah blah. I'll tell you how I feel about the ending, but I was engaged the entire time. It was a good show. So the people that made that, it wasn't a departure that when WandaVision came out that I didn't believe that was still MCU. That was Marvel Studios, right? To this, it just don't seem like that's the same group. You're right, because because then like beyond the Thunderbolts. Let's talk about the president's speech. How's that mean for the Asgardians?
Yeah,
like, come on, man. I'll gatekeep this, bro. Like, what does that mean for
the? You rolling up on him?
It was such a vague speech. Like he's just like, if you don't belong on our planet, we will find you and we will kill you. It's like, bro, the president never. When's the last time you heard the president say kill?
He did the taking speech. Like he kind of like taking speech.
The president can't get you. Wait a minute. Here's something that's even more dumb. And I had this in my notes too. They gave the president a gun. Nigga, this ain't Air Force One. You ain't Harrison Ford, dog. Harrison Ford ain't the president yet. Thunderbolt would get a gun. I said, the president. You know what they do when the president is threatened? When it's any type of threat on the president, bro, they stuff the president head down and push him into some. Bro, they grabbing they yanking the president up, bro, and throwing him into like they piling on top of the president, bro. It's like 10.
He got more. I know they got a lot of people they took out.
Yeah. You ain't giving the president a gun.
No.
Give me a gun. Who the blank are you? Who are you, bro? To be like, give me a gun,
dude. Man, he got stunned the entire season. No, that wasn't happening. No.
Who is he? Are you ex-Shield? Why is the president getting the gun? This is one of them boneheaded decisions. Like, why would the president get a gun, bro? Unless the president is like Fury or if the president is like Thunderbolt. I get it if Thunderbolt was the president. Then it's like, yeah, Thunderbolt been in battle, bro. Thunderbolt done pulled it out.
Thunderbolt,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember, Thunderbolt done went against Hulk, hey,
bro. Like he got 12.
Hey, Pat. Hey, let me.
Yeah, he got the cigar. He got the cigar and everything.
Give me the bitch. I get that. But who is this guy, man? Like, what's his name? President. I don't even know his name. President, whatever.
Princeton, somebody.
Yeah. Hey, man, who are you though to be like, give me a gun? Why is the president an action star? Like, it just don't make any sense, bro. Hey, sit your ass down. You in a hospital.
They would have mushed him down. They would have protected him, and they would have they would not have him rolling around in a regular. They would have, 100%.
If somebody was coming after the president, they not going, bro. If they in a shootout, if the Secret Service ever has to be in a shootout, they not giving a gun to Biden, bro.
Oh my God!
Hey, give me another clip.
He would have had something. You know they behind the situation. Like Biden not doing none of that, man. None of the ones we didn't had that since probably like George Washington doing any of that. George was he never. George, you're right. He was on the Potomac and he was strapped in. That was it.
It's like no Washington, who was basically like a general.
Yeah,
and then Eisenhower. That's one hand
was strapped.
I get Eisenhower and like Roosevelt, right? Because Roosevelt was like I don't know, he was on a horse and all that. So he but I'm just saying,
I think
none
Rosie
of them,
because Rosie ended up
I'm talking about I said Roosevelt. I'm Theodore Roosevelt, not Delano Roosevelt, but the first Roosevelt. Yeah, one. He. But even then,
Eisenhower was strapped.
Them the only two. Eisenhower and Washington are the only two who gonna return fire.
He had the desk like it was Cold War II. He had a couple under the desk, like
who at the door?
You know when you talking to him, they looking at your eye.
Man,
he reaching under.
Hey, Hoover, man, they don't be coming in here. Hey, Hoover, dog, what I tell you about that shit, man? Yeah, y'all the FBI, y'all cool, man, but don't be coming in here, man. Like
fresh off the feet.
The president is not. You're not giving the president a piece, bro. Like, what are you doing? Bro, that was so dumb that I just was like, I'm just like, is this? I'm like, I get it, bro. We in the MCU, but you gotta establish that though. You gotta be like, if that was Harrison Ford, if that was the Hurt, the dude
that was Thunderbolt.
That was Thunderbolt. I get it. Why is the president an action star though? He's not a hero. He's not he wasn't in SHIELD. Was he a soldier? None of that is like, get out of here, bro. You not, and then you go on TV and threaten people. Like, all right, man. Yeah,
he said,
right.
I will find you. That was wild out of place, wasn't it? It was like, I will find you. That's the first thing I thought. Like, man, why is he using the taken line? Like he done turned into my boy Liam Neeson the way he was saying that. But
man, that show's stupid.
Yeah, but it was like when he said that, and then it was like, so then we just had this rush montage of Skrulls imposters getting shot, and then they end up shooting somebody that was actually a human.
Yeah,
it was like, that's how we ended this. Like,
that was so unnecessary.
This was like a show that didn't require. It wasn't like, okay, this is what y'all did, man. It's over, right? It's over. This not a leak into Armor Wars. Lead into, because now it's like, I know we talked all the whole time before about Carol having a deal. This seemed like the way they was going on and on. Carol gonna have to deal with everybody's whining at this point in time now, right? Let's call it what it is. Carol got to deal with Monica whining. Man. She got to deal with Skrulls whining, all that, right? Like so we're gonna spend Armor Wars with Rhodey, because I don't trust them to do that, right? Him dealing with the fact that he missed everything, because now we changing Armor Wars. You know what I'm saying? It's not Armor Wars, right? We changing Armor Wars, right? On top of that, like, because I've seen some stuff right now, like, it's Happy a Skrull. Like, I don't even want to deal with it no more. I don't want to hear it. It's over.
Hey, y'all. Yeah, I'm not even going.
It's Happy a Skrull, so I don't even want none of that. I don't want to sit there and be like, we setting this up like, hey, you've been gone. You not this. You not the Secretary of whatever, Secretary of Defense. That was another thing. He was talking to like that. Boss brought that up, and so I was watching the show, and I was gonna say it, but when Rhodey was going off on that lady, right? It was like, yo, you know how bad she outrank you, bro. You cannot talk to her like that.
This is what I mean. Yeah. That and the president getting the gun. That was the first one. It
was like, you sick, bro. You get slapped out the room.
You might as well be waving the flag at that point. Hey, I'm a Skrull. Me right here, fam. You talking down to I forgot what her rank was, but yeah, that would, man. He'd be court-martialed for that.
She thoroughly outranked him.
That should have been a dead giveaway for the dumbass president. That wait a minute, man. Rhodey would never talk to a superior like that. Are you insane? Like,
I had that as a note, bro, but then I took it away. I had that whole thing like, bro, that should have all added up. He was drunk. He had been drinking. He had yak.
President was
the only reason I deleted that note was because I was like, well, if he been the Skrull, he only know Skrull version of Rhodey, probably, right? That's the only Rhodey he knows. So maybe this person's been like that. It seemed like you wouldn't move up. You wouldn't move up being like that, because he was writing. He even said it. He was writing a speech like, it don't work like that. Like Rhodey have been writing, preparing a speech for the president to say something. Like, even basic
that ain't your job.
Even basic president shows, like, president got a team.
Yes.
He don't
just listen to one guy. And it's not gonna be
It's gonna be you pushing around in the hotel room. Like, the hotel would have been strapped. The hotel would have been strapped. Not the hotel, but the hospital. That's what I meant to say. But the hospital would have been locked down. Like, you can't get a helicopter around. You know how bad traffic be when the president come to town?
Oh, they shut everything down.
They shut the whole thing down. Like, you can't go nowhere. They got Black Hawks. Yeah, so you get deep into it. Like, yeah, that's not happening. But and so it marked down to, like, I don't care when you talk about editing. I don't care if you talk about reshoots. Like, you can't cross that. You can't get that across the line. That can't come to you, Feige, and you like, yeah, okay. Like, what did you look at when you was in that room,
bro? Like, who at the wheel? Yeah. What is Feige doing, bro? Is he?
What happened to quality assurance?
It's gone. You're right.
Because I'm sure there's cutting room stuff. If we go back and we be like. People were sending stuff in, and it was like, hey, man, look, this is what we want to do. We're going to chop Cap head off in Endgame. So we're not going to do that.
Let that happen. Yeah.
Right. Little things like that. And, like, everybody, no idea is a bad idea until it's a bad idea, right? Like, everybody got an idea, and then go ahead.
James Gunn said it. I'm sorry. What he was saying, I'm fucking Iron Man. He was gonna say I'm fucking Iron Man when he did the last snap or whatever. Like, they was like, nah, we ain't doing that. We don't want that to be our last the last thing we say. but the fight he was there. Like, hey, I see this is here, but y'all, you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah,
He's
because
like,
it
hey,
was
you
just
know what?
sloppy.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody sat this dude down. This writer, the dude who made he made Mr. Robot. Nobody sat this dude down and was like, president in Russia.
He just goes.
You can't. Hey, the Russos not getting that off, bro. Russos wouldn't do that, bro. They not getting that off. The president of Russia. No, you would have a fucking UN army escorting the president. Like, I don't even know how that shit. I'm just guessing.
Not only
president goes to.
Not only would you have that, you would have representatives from the Russian government there as well. Like, you got a whole, like you say, that little space is just walled off. Again, we can get into the weeds, but it's like that situation that happened is not happening. Now I know we get the White House down, and we get these different kind of movies and then like that. But so whatever. But it wasn't set up to be that. Like there's a, like you say, Air Force One. There was something happening, and Harris Ford had to take care of himself. This wasn't that. Nick just show up like whoop, whoop, and he go, "Hey, he's the Skrull. It's him." Meanwhile, you got this battle happening, and y'all just doing the blame game, and it was just weird. It was just like you saying the thing about the gun and all that other stuff. Getting the
gave the president a gun.
Come on.
It was the worst Secret Service. It was the worst depiction of a Secret Service agents, anything. Sonya come in there and just trank everybody.
Oh, she nasty. That was the thing. Like, Gaia, back to theirs, and we're gonna probably got to stop in a minute, but like, kind of
we're gonna wrap
talking
up
back to Gaia. Like a point about Gaia is I seen some stuff where it was like she the most powerful hero and all this and all that. Like, how do we know she a hero? This is a person who just left and was just walking in the street with the stank face. Like, she killed my parents. And she was already salty about even having to not be in her own skin anyway. Right? She was part of the saltiness.
We saying hero. Didn't she let thousands of people die in the bomb? She didn't stop that.
She was contributing.
She allowed that to happen. She tried to gave him a heads up, like, hey, this the plan. And she didn't turn off the bombs. People died and she knew about it.
So we think
spy,
she gonna be
hero. No.
We thinking she gonna be cool with the fact that she the most powerful person in this universe, right? She's the most powerful. Everybody who got power is not Galactus and maybe Nova Prime, but then she got Captain Marvel shit. You know what I mean? So like, I'm sure if they squab, it'll be what they be. But
sure
she got everybody
too,
power.
right? Yeah,
she gotta have some Wanda. So like, if we watch it, we probably synced it. I say all that to say, we think she gonna be cool with her people getting shot in point blank range like that who wasn't doing nothing, right? She cool with that? She got all this power and she not happy? She wasn't happy. She didn't have no kind of like arc at the end where she was like, I see the greater good in man.
Nah. There was no resolution where she was just.
I swear to God, all the stuff that Fury and them was saying about I got all extra right there. I swear to God. I swear for God. All the stuff that Fury was saying, I didn't mean to cut you. All the stuff Fury been saying about humanity not being ready and all this and all that. I guarantee, man, that scene that happened at the end with them shooting and the president saying all that stuff had to been earlier in the show because it never matched up. No one had did anything to Skrulls, right? No one had ever. It's like they had to get outed probably quick, and then you see it like you doing all this, like humanity not ready, like we not able to live all together, this, that, and the third, right? Like, but they say it at the end, they do all at the end, and it was like nothing before that justified why they felt. Like we didn't get that, it was off screen and all. My point is, for them to do that at the end, that probably really happened earlier in the program, and then the season it was like we don't like this tone, so
that's a good point.
Yep. Lighten that up
for whatever reason,
and you get to the whole crux of it all, right? You get to the whole thing. Your titular character, whatever the correct word is, your title character. This was not a good platform from Nick Fury. This Nick Fury, bro. Like we talking about it's Samuel L. Jackson, right? Wasn't a thing, but this Nick Fury, bro. Like when Nick Fury showed up in Avengers,
put the Avengers together.
Like he had Selvig and he had Hawkeye up there. Like they had been working with Hawkeye. Like they had Natasha Like I said it, he wasn't gonna be walking around even in this form. Like he wasn't gonna be walking around just like loose like that.
He means to bury us like the pharaohs of old. When they Fury, hey man, you know how quick Fury was, bro. At that instance, he like, boom, he done took control of my guy. I gotta cave the place in, bro. I gotta trap them in here. Like, not this Fury though, bro. This guy and that guy are not the same guy.
Like you say, the people that they're bringing in to do this, and maybe they thought that was going to give a fresh start, whatever the reasons were, probably never watched any of this stuff before. Because there's no way you right now, because his get back together would have been recognizable. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like remember when we always reference this movie, but they had extremists, so I guess we could reference Iron Man 3. Tony wasn't Tony until he was Tony again at the end, right? But he spent the whole movie trying to get back to that point, and we got there.
Yeah.
That's what that was about. We needed to get him there, and then we had the show with Fury, and the people who made this probably didn't watch Avengers, didn't watch Winter Soldier, didn't watch the post credit scenes, and to kind of get to that. This show didn't even have a post-credit scene. That's all you need to know. Yeah. Like, I guess we could have started the show like this, saying like, "Hey, where's no post-credit?" So take that, do with that what you may about what the show was about and what this episode was about. It didn't even have a post-credit. It was tough, man.